Well, hello and welcome from Puerto del Carmen. As you can see, we're in the old town harbour. What's the plan today, Jules?
We're going to take the coastal path to Puerto Calero, and then we're going to get the water taxi back. Can you believe we've never taken the water taxi?
Yeah, this will be the first time, won't it?
I know.
So yeah, this is the old red house, La Casa Roja, and if I just swing round, you can see where we are in relation to the car park there. And what we're going to do is just walk up the steps and go along the boardwalk. It's a lovely little harbour, this. It's the original Latinosa harbour, it was called, wasn't it? Varadero de Latinosa.
Yeah. And there was literally the red house, the Casa Roja, and the rocks and a few boats, that was it.
That was what we now know as Puerto del Carmen. One of our favourite restaurants up there.
Mar de
Leva,
yeah. Lunch with a view, we like that one, don't we?
Yeah, and a nice bit of tapas as well.
Bird down there.
I can see that, yep, people taking photos of the local
A
wildlife.
plover or something. I don't know its name.
These little cottages along here are really nice. I think they were once fishermen's cottages. They've all got interesting gardens with various palms and cacti in them. And in fact, that is the water taxi out there.
It is.
And what they tend to do is pause before coming into the harbour so that people can go down below and look through the windows.
Glass bottomed, is it?
Yeah, it's glass bottomed, and they, I think from memory, that's where the tuna wrecks are, so they know there's going to be lots of fish in that area. We've reached the end of the boardwalk now, and at the top here we have to go up these steps.
And then left.
And hang a left, yeah.
We're heading for there, look, you can see the switchbacks.
Yep, up the hill there, you can see the zigzag route that will take you to the top before we go on to Puerto Calero. We're measuring the distance, so we'll let you know how far it is. But you can take your time, there's lots of places to stop and have a rest and catch your breath. Top of the steps you turn left, and this is Marina apartments. So you kind of walk through this alleyway to reach the zigzags. So we now reach the zigzags. Starts off with some steps, and we'll just show you the view at the top. Nice little communal swimming pool there for those apartments.
Oh, it's a bit of a breeze, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's a warm one.
It is, it's 31, isn't it? It's, but there's a bit of cloud around today and a bit of breeze. So that super hot spell we had from the 1st of October is just calming down now, thank goodness. We've got a lovely view of the whole of the old town or original town of Puerto del Carmen. Someone out there enjoying a bit of parascending. Los Lobos and Fuerteventura across the water there. And we're going for the zigzag. We're at the top now, and actually walking up those is not too trying at all, is it, Jules? It's
No,
rare.
steps would be much worse, wouldn't they?
Yeah, relatively easy, and you end up with a beautiful view when you're up here.
Got a lovely flat calm today, haven't we? Look, you can just see all that.
Absolutely calm, isn't it? Nothing moving. And there's a couple of benches there so you can take a breather.
Recover.
Some beautiful properties along this road with magnificent views. This section is nice and flat, but it's we've got a very hot sun at the moment, haven't we?
Yeah, there's no shade really, is there?
So a little downhill section coming up. You can hear people's pool pumps running at the side of us. But the views are just amazing. Well worth doing the walk to enjoy those and take some photos. I quite like this property with a cannon on it to
Ward off the pirates.
yeah, repel any pirates looking to land in Puerto del Carmen. At this point we've reached the end of the paved promenade.
Just under a kilometre really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And it becomes a gravel track, but still relatively easy walking. So we were just discussing footwear.
Yeah, and I was saying I wouldn't attempt this in flip-flops. I think it's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean we're both wearing trainers today, and that's probably the right wear for it. Certainly from this part onwards. From this point on the path, you can just see the masts, or some of the taller masts in Puerto Calero, peering up above that group of palms there. So it's not a long walk particularly at all. There's a fairly interesting garden here with grapes and cactuses in it.
The vines, yeah.
Rather nice bougainvillea. And presumably belongs to that house up there, would be my guess. So we're running parallel now with the road that goes between Puerto del Carmen and Calero, but obviously right on the coast. A nice little picnic area there, but without shade. The island's super dry at the moment, hasn't rained here since February, and we're now mid-October. You can probably hear how crunchy the ground is underfoot.
Everything's dusty and dry, isn't it?
Yeah,
Waiting for our first big downpour we are.
hopefully not too far away. Path along here is absolutely beautiful, and it's literally right on the edge of the sea. You can hear it all the way along. And you can probably see Puerto Calero now clearly in the distance. So we're at the 1.4 kilometre mark, about 22 minutes it's taken us to get here, so I think as we said it's not too strenuous at all. See the football ground there, Jules, looking back to Puerto del Carmen. And there's a former windmill.
Steps in the rocks there to get down to the water.
Yeah, they're for swimmers or fishermen who go down and fish off the rocks. We're now at the 1.7 kilometre mark, and you can clearly see Puerto Calero now. There is a super yacht in. In fact, there's two, I think, by the looks of it.
What you can't see is the deceptive barranco.
Between
Area we've got to go down and up.
where we are and where that is.
And a cold beer.
All along here you get sort of little glimpses of the frontline properties, but I suppose you can understand why they've built walls up and to create some privacy from this pathway.
It's a balance, that, isn't it, between keeping the view for themselves, but also a bit of privacy in the garden.
Yeah, and an awful lot of people use this path. I mean, I've never seen it quiet, if you know what I mean. There's always people walking up and down it. Now this section we've reached is a barranco. So it's like a gorge that takes rainwater from the hills out to the sea, and we have to go down into it and then cross the bottom of it and go up the steps on the other side. So there's steps on both sides. There's decent railings. It's not too arduous. We've reached the 2 kilometre mark, and we've done that in just under 15 minutes.
But the whole thing in 15 minutes?
Have I got that right?
No,
No, I'm looking at the wrong thing, sorry. Sorry,
It's over
18
half an
minutes,
hour.
yeah. Am I still? No, I'm looking at the right thing. 18 minutes. Okay, so Puerto Calero, completely clear ahead there.
Plane coming in.
There is, I'm just trying to work out what that ripple is across the water there. I wondered if it was some whales, but I can't see anything spouting. We know we had some relatives go out on a boat trip to Los Lobos this week, and they saw loads and loads of dolphins and pilot whales. Just to correct that, Julie was right. We have been going half an hour. I was looking at the wrong segment on my watch. Unfortunately, I've got sunglasses on, so I can't see it too clearly. People often ask me about these white painted stones you see different places on the island. It's usually marking out a specific plot of land, often done by a surveyor, just to say, right, well, that's actually the mark for your land there. And you'll see it all over the island. Just looking back, you can see the path we've taken, and peeking around that corner there is Puerto del Carmen, of course.
On the homeward straight to Calero now, aren't we?
We are, we're very close, and we've done 2.4 kilometres now. We're just coming up to, is it 3 kilometres, Jules?
Yeah, 3 kilometres.
Okay, you can see Puerto Calero clearly ahead, and there is the water taxi heading back to Puerto del Carmen.
That's the 12:45, isn't it?
I think we're booked on the 2:15, aren't
Yeah.
we? So we've got time to grab a bit of lunch, haven't we?
That's the plan.
So we've reached the end of the path, about 3.1 kilometres. We're at Puerto Calero, as you can see, there's the boatyard. And from here you also get a view of some of the most expensive properties in Puerto Calero, which are normally quite hard to see them from the marina itself. We have one last barranco to cross before we join the little road there by the boatyard.
So you've got a choice here now. We can either turn left and go straight into the marina, or your path continues on. It joins the promenade that runs along the top of Puerto Calero,
Yep.
which takes you as far as the Secrets Hotel, and then you can walk on again the same distance to Playa Camada.
Well,
There's
you
no
can-
water taxi back from there.
That's true, and you can actually go up this road, and there's a bus stop at the top
There is.
if you want to take a bus back into Puerto del Carmen, but we're going to hang a left, walk past the boatyard and
Go find somewhere for lunch.
the buggies. Yep, we're going to go find somewhere for lunch, so we're going to pause the video now, go and have some lunch, and you'll rejoin us when we are ready to board the water taxi in an hour or so. So we'll see you in a bit.
That's the way you go.
We had a very nice lunch at La Papadea, didn't we?
We tiered that gazpacho, really cooled me down. That was lovely.
Gazpacho to start, and then we shared some puntillas and some pulpo gallega. And we've got our ticket, as mentioned before.
So it's €9 one way or 16 return.
Okay.
You can either buy it on the boat. If you go to the poster where the boat comes in, the board, there's a QR code. You can do it online, or you can go to the kiosk and do it in person.
Perfect, and we can see that the water bus is in, so it's arrived from Puerto del Carmen. So we should just be able to board in a moment with our tickets. So we're on board the water taxi, water bus, depending upon what you want to call it. You can see lots of action there, people disembarking and embarking on Cat Lanza, and the same with the submarine next door.
Moon shadow's nice.
Is that what she's called? Moon shadow? It's going to slot in behind the submarine. And over on our right, that's the Royal Marina Suites, isn't it, Jules?
It is. Yeah, we stayed there a couple of times, haven't we? Oh, it's going to get...
Yeah, submarine's just dropping below the surface now, you can see. Flooding her tanks. She goes down to about 30 metres.
I wonder if the stingray still visits.
Yeah, and do they still have divers that feed the fish?
Almost gone.
You can clearly see the path we walked along. Quite a few interesting caves along this section of coast. Just eroded by the waves over the years. You see the beginnings of Puerto del Carmen now. Boat always stops here by the tuna wrecks, so you can go down and look at the fish through the glass windows.
See the fish down here.
Stopped and fed the fish. We're heading into the harbour now. And in common with many of the Lineas Romero boats, it's got submarine glass windows, so you can go down below and watch the fish being fed. A load of people out there having fun on jet skis. There we are, that took 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I said 25.
Yeah. So in summary, the whole afternoon has taken us about 3 hours to walk from Puerto del Carmen to Puerto Calero, have some lunch there, get the water taxi back. And our car's in the car park here, so we're heading that way. So hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Unusual little afternoon for us on a very hot October Wednesday. Have a great weekend, everyone, and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.